My topic is the most popular myths in psychology. The first myth I looked at was that opposites attract. According to a study by McCutcheon in 1991, over 75% of undergraduate students believe this myth to be true. This assumption is common in the media, but experimental research has shown a linear relationship between similar attitudes and attraction shown by research of Byrne in 1961. In my research, 84.6% believe the myth that opposites attract, which is even higher than the research of McCutcheon. This research shows how people hear a theory that is supposedly scientific and continue to roll with it. Because the media and television and movies state that opposites attract, many people believe this as a result. This can help psychologists understand the extent to which the media has an effect on children by the information provided by it. Another example of a popular psychological myth is that lie detector tests are accurate. A study by Lycan in 1998 shows that lie detector tests suggest error rates as high as 40%, but lie detector tests are still used in court and used widely in crime TV shows and movies. Also, a study done in 2010 by Lilienfeld, Lynn, Ruscio, and Beyerstein suggests that most Americans believe that lie detectors are reliable and useful in detecting deception. My results on this topic by high schoolers show that 40.4% of these students believe this myth to be true. A flaw to this number is that 2010 was 11 years ago, and since then people might know more often about the flaws of the lie detector as they've been spoken of over time. However, people still believe this myth. This research can also show the impact of the media on people. There hasn't been previous research on the ratio of people that believe the myth that only 10% of the brain is used, but my research of high schoolers shows that 40.4% of people believe this theory. A study by Patias in 2014 states that many undergraduate students believe the myth that people often repress traumatic childhood memories. This isn't true. Rather, scientific evidence from Bruin in 2007 shows that traumatic events are actually mostly remembered by both healthy patients and those with psychological disorders. In my research, 92.3% of students believe this myth. This research can help psychologists to understand how people deal with their traumatic memories. I believe it can be assumed that if people believe this myth to be true, they most likely attempt to repress their childhood memories, but in reality, most people remember all of their adolescent trauma. It is believed by most test takers that going with your gut response on multiple choice questions will give you the greatest chance of doing well on that question. However, this is not true. Studies by Copeland in 1972, Crocker and Benson in 1980, Johnston in 1975, and Schwartz, McMorris, and Demers in 1991 have all shown that there is a much greater chance of changing their answer from incorrect to correct than correct to incorrect. My research of high schoolers who have surely taken many tests believe this myth to be true, with 80.8% believing this myth. Personally, I have heard this myth many times in my life from teachers to just go with my gut feeling. I believe that this research shows the impact that teachers have with their words over students and the relationship of someone in power, the teacher, and the student. Psychologists can utilize this research to further understand the power dynamic between teachers and students. With each psychological myth that is studied, there are many different human behaviors that can be further researched as a result. As the world becomes better educated about psychology, I hope these myths will become less prevalent in society, but for now, it can be observed how human behavior is affected by these myths.